Hello there, my name is PolishLynx, and why am I here? Okay, I just tried to check if this will record correctly. Alright. Welcome to Homeward, the game from Love in Space, and as you know, Love in Space is so far one of my favorite studios, to be honest. And yeah, I loved Sunrider whole series, to be honest. I still need to play Sunrider Academy, but that will happen soon for sure. But for now, let's play Homeward, which is a free game, and it's possible to download it from the from Love in Space's website. So let's begin the journey. A butterfly swept by the soft spring breeze drifted across the endless blue sky that day, floating, fluttering its tissue with thin wings futile against Mother Nature's breath, where it would end up, completely up to chance. Okay, that was a bit too fast. But, okay, now this is a bit... God damn it, config. This is, okay, a bit too slow. Let's check if this will be fine. It circled around my head twice, enticing me with its azure wings, before being carried away further by the wind. Being the youthful boy I was then, I gave chase drawn by its lollipop-colored wings. I followed it across the grassy field, over the river, and finally up a green hill where only a single tree stood. By the time I reached the lonesome tree, I was exhausted. My chest heaved in and out as I saw the butterfly flutter further up into the sky, towards the distant town, and eventually disappear. Looky, looky! What? Started by the voice, I spun around. Give me a sec. What? Riku, you say? Here, here! I looked upward to find a girl roughly about my age sitting on top of a branch. What are you doing up there? Look in the town! Come up! Here, the view is great! With a bit of caution, I tried to climb up the tree without much success. Not good, man. Not good. If you can't climb a tree, how will you look in her eyes? Here, grab on! The girl reached down with her hand. She hoisted me up with unusual strength. Surprised by her grip, I barely managed to grab onto the branch. On time. Phew! Come on, look! Isn't it awesome? A spectacular view laid before me. The white buildings of the town glittered like fine rectangular crystals against the falling sun. You know, I'm trying to check if... Alright, so there are roads, so there are multiple endings. Okay. I'm trying to find out a bit about the game at the same time, so don't worry. Alright. Divided by a sparkling river and surrounded by mountains on all sides, our town was like a small sanctuary in the middle of nature. Because, you know, I need to know if there are multiple endings or what to be prepared on arranging enough time for this. But if there are multiple endings, then alright. Amazing! I can see my home from here. Where? It should be right there. She pointed to a vast section of the town. Then, I think my home is right over there. Not a big town, but it's nice. You live just across the river from me? Which school do you go to? Kawada Elementary School. Really? I go to Sakura Elementary, farther down the road. Alright, then let's walk to school together from now on, okay? But I don't even know your name yet. My name is Nonami Kitahara. I'm 5.5. Wait, what? You go to school at the age of 5? Already? My name is Riku Saionji. I'm 6 years old. Eh? No way! No, my name is seriously Riku. Why? That's not what I meant, dummy. And so, a lost butterfly, brought by the wind and taken away just as unpredictable by the wind, led me to Nonami Kitahara. An act of random chance. Had the wind blown in the other direction, had there been no butterfly, had I not been standing at that exact place at that exact time, I would never have met her. An act of fate. Like the notes of a piano, 100 seemingly random noises come together to create a single melody. Like the random, uncontrollable wind that brought me to Nami that day, the same wind could just easily take her away for eternity. But better not. Chaos, the inescapable law of our lives. Chaos. Love in space. Oh, intro. Yay! As always, great choice of music from them. Really. We are damn good at this. This wasn't my home. I thought those words as I followed my father into our new house. It had been nearly 10 years since I've lived in this country. Because of my father's job as a diplomat, I had followed him throughout the world. Oh? First Korea, then France, then America. Who knew where I would end up in the next moment? A large empty room greeted me as I entered the house. Another quiet, empty house. Who knew how long this one would last? I found the box containing my belongings and headed to my room. I dropped the box to the floor. My room was the third bedroom to the right. That's right, there would be 3 bedrooms this time around. We had unexpectedly returned to Japan when we received word that my mother's health had deteriorated. Since she was going to be hospitalized from now on, my younger sister Sora was going to come live with us. Even though my parents have been divorced for as long as I could remember, I guess she was still family. Definitely. I only had 3 memories of ever having met Sora in my life. What? Say what? You only seen your own sister 3 times? Well, okay, you only have 3 memories of your sister. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. The first 2 times were too far ago in my childhood and blurred with time. The third time, however, I could remember much more clearly. Alright, I think we have 3 roads in this game? It was about 3 years ago when my father and I stopped by Japan for 2 days during summer vacation. We had gone to a small restaurant together. Much of the details of that time were lost, but I still remember Sora eating an ice cream sundae with me. But you know, I can't cheat in this game because there is no walkthrough or anything, so... oh, damn it. Alright. She spoke hardly a word that time. There was an emotionless sad aura about her, like a frozen pond covered with snow. Her eyes were unfocused, gazing blankly at the table underneath her. She never looked at my face. That was all that I could recall from that day. There was still a week left before she would move in. By the time I finished setting up all of my belongings, it was late afternoon. Since my father was still downstairs, busy unpacking his belongings, I went out of the house and looked around the neighborhood. An uncomfortable sort of nostalgia filled me as I wandered around the town I once knew. A town split into 2 halves by a river, a town surrounded by mountains on all sides. I wonder if that one hill with the lonely tree was still there. Let's go! As I made my way towards the hill, I saw how much the town had changed since I left. The field of tall grass that I once played in was now replaced with a new shopping mall. That sucks. The tiny stream that I would cross every day was now a cemented waterway. Oh. Brand new houses lined the once verdant hill. A spiraling road led to the top. I followed the road. At the very top of the hill I found a small fenced-off park with the same tree of many years ago. It was still here. I sat down at a nearby bench. The sun was now setting. The tree cast long shadows against the dirt ground, silhouetting it with a black pattern. "Times are changing, young lady." From seemingly out of nowhere, an old lady appeared behind me. Her back was bent with age and time had turned her hair thin and white. She sat down on the bench beside me and looked at the tree with her tired grey eyes. Wait, did she say lady? Young lady? I was supposed to be a guy, right? In this game. "I say, there was a time when this entire place was nothing but green. Now those young folk come in with that new mall and done changing everything." I could barely understand the old lady's Japanese through her thick Kansai accent, so I just nodded politely. "Now none of the birds even come around. Nobody keeps this old woman company." She continued to speak. Out of respect for the elderly, I pretended to listen, even though I couldn't make out most of her words. "This old park is all that's left. All that's left of my old memories. I guess that's why I like to come back here. Old habits are hard to kill." I wasn't sure what to say to the old lady, but I felt like I had to say something, lest she think I was ignoring her. "I used to come here often too." "Oh, you did you?" "I always wanted to come back." "And why is that, my dear?" "There's someone I'm supposed to meet here. I hope she hasn't been waiting for too long." "Oh, someone special, is it?" "Well, I don't imagine a young lad like you would be waiting on an old woman like me." A breeze blew through the park, filling the air with a flurry of white sakura petals. For a moment it felt as if small puffs of snow were falling from the blue spring sky. Nostalgia filled me. I had sat here long ago and watched the white petals softly glide to the ground before. The distant taste of old candy trickled from my mouth. Had I been eating candy that day? Suddenly I heard what sounded like a baseball bat being swung on the other side of the park. I turned my head and saw a lone Kindoka practicing. I watched quietly as the girl swung her bamboo sword over her head. There was a kind of aesthetic beauty to it, to see a lone girl in traditional clothing gracefully cutting the air against the setting sun. After swinging her sword for a few minutes, she stopped and bought a sports drink from a vending machine. While she was drinking, she noticed me and waved. I stood up and turned to bid my farewell to the old lady, but saw that she was nowhere to be seen. Strange. She must have walked off while I was busy looking. Yo! I wasn't quite sure what to say beyond that. It's pretty, isn't it? She pointed off to the distance, where now the entire city glittered against the setting sun. We looked at the view together. It's been a while, Nunami. Whoa, you remember my name? I have a good memory. Let me guess. You must be Kenji, right? Nope. You look like Kenji to me. My name is Riku Saionji. No way! That totally is not your name. No, my name is seriously Richard. Ricciardo? Whatever, from today onwards I'm just call you Rikun. Did she just totally make up a new name for me? Where do you go to school, Rikun? I just transferred to Minamikawa High School. Oh, no way, I go there too. Oh, I got an idea. Let's walk to school there, just like we used to, okay? Sure. Come on, you've got to tell me all the stories. You lived in America, right? Oh, is it really true that kissing is only a greeting in America? No, they actually only do that in France, and it's only on the cheek. Wow, so you've been to France too? Well, it was only for 2 years. Tell me all about it. Well, my father's diplomat, so... Amazing! You must be super smart then. She pulled off the bandana that she was using to tie her hair up in a ponytail and started twirling it around in a circle. You're really good at speaking English then, right? Teach me! Okay. Check this out! Today I met Rudolph What? I wasn't quite sure what she meant, but decided to nod my head anyways. Do you mean? Today I met an old friend. Wow, you're incredible! All of a sudden she took the bandana and tightly wrapped it around her forehead. Alright, from today onwards, we'll do nothing but study English. Did she just decide that by herself? Come on, Rikun, over this way! She slipped her bamboo sword into her bag and slung it over her shoulders. And here, I was afraid that we wouldn't have anything to talk about once we met. Nunami began to run down the hill and waved at me. Faster! I followed her down. Even though many things had changed in the town, it seemed as if Nunami was still her usual self. Even after all these years, she was still as bright and energetic as I remembered. I couldn't remember the last time somebody had treated me like an old friend. Oh, check that out! It's a tanuki statuette! Remember that one time you broke off its head and you were so scared? Wait a minute. If I recall correctly, I think it was you who threw the ball that did that. I killed Mr. Tanuki! I totally did not cry like that. For as long as I could remember, I had been a stranger to everyone. Sure, I had friends in America and everywhere else, but what really did it matter? As soon as I had to move again, I had to lose everyone that I knew. No matter how much we tried to stay in contact, we eventually ended up forgetting about each other. It's not like I met many people who I could connect with anyways. In the end, who were people going to trust the most? Their friends, who they have lived and grown up with all their lives, or a stranger like me? No matter how much I wanted to, it wasn't as if I could travel back in time and become childhood friends with everyone. Oh, check it out! This is the river where I caught that frog. Remember how we gave it to Tanaka-chan in that plastic container? There was so much food when it escaped in the classroom. Oh, we totally had to stand in the hall holding those buckets for that. I thought my shoulders were gonna snap off. I had been near giving up actually. It didn't really make much of difference getting to know people. What was the point of it? In the end, I would always be just one of the new friends. And by the time I could even become an old friend, it would be time to move again. I was about to accept a life of solitude. Remember when you used to make mud cakes here? You would always bring water from the river in your small beach bucket. And we would dump it into the sandbox and make mud cakes. Big one for daddy, medium one for mommy, small one for the baby. The only thing that kept me going was a small hope that one day, things could change. Even though I should have just accepted the reality of the situation, it was still too sad to give up completely. It was too frightening to accept the reality that I might never meet anyone again. Most of all, I just didn't want to be lonely. Oh, we're here. This is where I live, remember? The walls seem so much lower now. And now to you, I've been trimming them down, little by little, every day since you left. Eh? Or something like that. Well then, see you tomorrow. See you! I turned to leave for my house. You know, Riku, I've really missed you. I turned around to face her again. Remembered my name? She winked. I have a good memory too, you know, just not a very fast one. Not a very fast one. It was dark by the time I returned home. After I ate dinner with my father, I went back to my room. I noticed that he had left my new school uniform hanging on the wall. That's right, tomorrow I would have to go to class. I grabbed it and tried it on. I had never worn a school uniform in my life before. No, I really did look Japanese. I turned around and checked out what it looked like from behind. Not bad. Maybe I should also do something with my hair. The other guys I've seen in Japan were all pretty much old-fashioned out. Nothing like what I saw in America anyways. I took the uniform off, took a shower and laid in bed. Just who was I anyways? I knew that I had ceased to be Japanese a long time ago. Maybe I should introduce myself as an American tomorrow. But I knew I wasn't an American either. It was a waste of time thinking of things like this. Whether I was Riku or Riku Saionji, I was myself. Riku sounds better. In my opinion. If you are Japanese. Actually, you are Japanese. Come on, man. If whatever I wasn't accepted to others, then nobody would like me. It was as simple as that. It wouldn't be very different from the usual. But she remembered me. Maybe this time would be different. I tried to think back to the old days when I used to play with Nonami. All I could grasp were brief fragments of our childhoods, but the mere existence of those fragments made her different from anyone else whom I had met before. All this time, I had wished for someone I could look back in time with, hadn't I? There was a moment of my middle school graduation when everyone was getting their yearbooks signed by their friends. As I watched everyone else laughing, crying, speaking fondly amongst each other about events that had occurred years ago in their childhoods, I resented them because they reminded me of all that I had lost. And yet, I wished that I could be a part of them. I wanted to laugh with them and have them sign my yearbook. And so, I hid myself, too afraid to finally accept that I had lost everything by joining the celebration. All the friends I had lost, all the homes that I have left, I couldn't bear to admit that I had forgotten about them and moved on. If only someone like Nonami had been there. I wonder what had happened to her since then. 8 years was a long time. I wonder if she was... If she was what? Finish your things! Finish your sentences, goddamn. Your thoughts. Oh. I'm also a slow thinker. The next morning I woke up early to go to school. As soon as I stepped out of the door, a familiar face greeted me. Ah, morning, Riku! Good morning. That's right, we're going to walk to school together again, weren't we? School uniforms. Why we didn't have this in Poland, damn it! Nonami looked really different compared to yesterday now that she was in her school uniform. I smiled and followed her towards the school, taken by the fact that she had grown so much since I left her. Considering that the last time I saw her was when she was 10 years old, I still wasn't used to seeing her grown up. Wait, 10 years and you were out for 8 years, so you are 18 years, so... Last year of school? I can't believe Riku's back. It feels like forever since we walked to school together like this, huh? Yeah. You don't have to worry about a thing. Since it's still the beginning of the term, you haven't missed anything much. Although, if you need help, I can always help you with homework. Nanami stamped her chest and nodded, looking pretty confident of her abilities. Somehow, though, I don't ever recall her being particularly good with schoolwork. We crossed an old wooden bridge overlooking a concrete water canal on the way to school. From the bridge, I could see a distant mountain range. I stopped for a moment to take in the view. There weren't any mountains where I lived in America. Japan's really pretty, huh? Uh-huh. They built this bridge a long time ago, even before the canal was made. Even though it's really old, a lot of people have become attached to it and the city couldn't tear it down when they built the canal. I didn't know that. I'm pretty sure we used to cross it all the time when we were younger. I tried to think back to before I left Japan, but nothing came to mind. Sorry. It's not that important. Should we get going? Yeah. By the way, Riku, do you have a girlfriend? Already? That was a pretty direct question to ask this early in the morning. I was caught off guard by the question and remained silent. So you do, huh? No, I don't. Shh, then you should have said so sooner. I was just caught by surprise, that's all. Even though I had answered her question, Nanami still kept eyeing me pretty suspiciously. I wasn't really sure what else to tell her, aside from the fact that I really don't have one. She sure was straightforward about this stuff, wasn't she? Huh? So Riku's more interested in Japanese women, huh? Well, it's not really that simple, you know. I've never really stayed in one place long enough to really get involved in a relationship like that. Oh, now I kind of wanted to ask Nami the same question, but it felt too forward asking a girl a question like that, so I held off. Besides, if she had a person like that now, I was probably going to find out about it sooner or later anyways. Just ask! He didn't. Pretty soon we arrived at the front of our school. We're almost there. It's a lot bigger than what I saw in the photographs. Isn't it? Just then we could hear the first bell ring. We better get going! I've got to go to the staff room now. Oh, alright, I'll see you later then. Yeah, I'll see you later. After a visit to the staff room, I was led to my new classroom by the homeroom teacher. I wrote Saionji Riku on a corner of the board and introduced myself. Hello everyone, my name is Saionji Riku, 18 years old. I've returned to Japan after having lived abroad for 9 years. Now it's 9 years? God damn it, this side finally! It was 8 years just a second ago. I'll be in your care from now. The teacher directed me to an empty seat in the classroom. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the same class as Nodami. I guess we'll just have to meet during lunch period instead. As soon as homeroom ended, a crowd of students gathered around me and raised a commotion. Where did you stay abroad? Well, I lived in America for 5 years. Crazy! So can you speak a lot of English? I guess. Everyone? Please teach us English, Saionji-san! Oh yes. Me too! You must trouble the transfer. Say something English for us. Everyone, please! All of a sudden, the thunderous crash of a chair tipping over and hitting the floor finally brought an abrupt silence to the room. A small girl laid on the floor with a dazed look on her face. Whoa, Inchu, are you alright? Oh, Chat needs help. The classroom rushed to help the Inchu back up. Are you okay? Do you need to go to the nurse's office? I think I will somehow manage. The girl got back to her feet and tried her best to hide her embarrassment at having tripped over the chair. Everyone, you shouldn't bother transfer student like that. I'm sure Saionji-san has other commitments and can't teach everyone English. The classroom reluctantly agreed with her. Now, let's get this classroom back together. Social studies will be in 5 minutes. With everyone's help, we managed to return to the chairs to their usual grid pattern. They sure were organized about this, weren't they? In America, I had rarely seen classrooms arranged into a grid. It's nice to meet you, Saionji-san. I'm Haruka Nakamiya, the Inchu of class 32. I hope we'll get along well from now on. Thanks for helping me out back there, by the way. It was no problem. That's because I'm the intro. Anyways, if you need any help getting around the school, then please feel free to ask. With an embarrassed look on her face, she scurried back to her seat in front of me and reached into her desk to find her pencil case, stare at its contents for a moment and then put it right back in. She looked kinda out of it for an inch. Before long, the rest of the day's classes began. And... okay. Ow. Let's end the episode here, boys and girls. Alright, no, seriously, let's end it here. It will be a long story, I believe, and if there are a few roads, it will make it even longer than possible, so yeah. So far, looks good, really. Hopefully it will be as enjoyable in the further elements of the game as Sunrider for me, and yeah. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next episode then. Bye!